All right, welcome in. This is an exciting moment because we're starting a new month. If you're in the live class, if you're watching recordings, it may not matter, but this is the beginning of a short series for our foundational practice. And the Foundations of Anusara is a practice that happens live every Tuesday at 8 a.m. Mountain Time. You'll find it in the on-demand library, in the recent classes where you find them all showing up in a chronological date, or you can find them in the playlist tab, and you'll find them put into little playlists for you. So this will be, I'm not sure what we're going to call it, maybe backbend neck or something like that, because that's what this is about. It's 4 classes leading up to teaching the 4 components of something in the Anusara world we call backbend neck. And it's just a way of short forming 4 principles of alignment. And the first one we'll work with today, and that is the inner body bright. And when we take this inner body bright and we level the head of the humeral bones with the base of the neck, we get all sorts of amazing structural benefits and emotional benefits. So the important thing is if you let your hands rest on your thighs and let the elbows relax. So a lot of you have much longer arms than I do. So find that place where they're not too far forward, but the arm bones come right out of the shoulder socket. And if you let your elbows relax, and now try to float your breath without force. And see, we've worked sincerely on the biomechanics of breath, and I'll cover that quickly. The first phase is to pull the diaphragm down and to expand the low belly and the low back, and then the ribs. The third phase is to allow this upward rising energy and motion to lift the side bodies and the rib cage upward, the head of the arm bone upward. If that's simply initiated with a shrug of your shoulders, we tense the muscles at the base of the neck. And this is a very common fight or flight stress response that a lot of us know unconsciously. So if you can relax your shoulders, relax your breath, and it's like a reset button for your body, where you allow a deep breath to lift you up from the inside. And if you follow the deeper breath with a gentle lift of the side body and the humeral bone, then you won't tense the muscles at the base of the neck, hopefully. And then there's a tiny little motion with your shoulder blades that they draw in, and they hold the head and the arm bones back. So, and then you can relax that and let it go, because it's probably not a normal natural posture for you. And you'll notice gravity wants to take hold. And so another reason to practice this and bring it into the yoga practice, and then hopefully life off the mat, is it will give us better posture, which will equate to a deeper sense of self-confidence and peace within your being. So one more time, feel your hands, feel your legs, the heart of your body that connects to the earth gets to stay rooted and grounded. Access the downward pull of the diaphragm, and then allow the expansion of the upper inner body to get bright and light. And then gently squeeze the shoulder blades on your back. And then we get to hold that elevation and expansion like you just blew up a balloon. And draw your hands to your heart. This inner body bright, side body's long posture also facilitates deeper, longer breath, as does the Anjali mudra that you're holding. So it will bring the prana up into the heart space. Let your experience of this upward rising, expanding prana be a way to wash your body with some new revitalizing energy. With every exhalation, you can let go of a piece of maybe the energy that you're wanting to release, the tension, the stress. And you can also keep the illumination. So it's a choice we make. Even in the release, we can stay bright. And we'll start with one beautiful Om together, just one. Give it, it's like another reset button, a fresh start for you. A nice, slow, deep breath in. Long, full breath out. Deep breath in. And please release your hands. And we'll come to standing in mountain pose. So take your time. As we build towards our apex pose, which is the bridge pose. That's a pretty standard level 1 back bend. As we build to that, just we'll restructure and remember that in order to lift up into the upper body and the upper neck and back, we've got to have stable feet, strong shins. The thigh bones have to move back. As the thigh bones stay back and wide, the tailbone roots, and then that deep breath can anchor you into the earth, and we can find that floaty sensation here. So imagine yourself in water, and if you were to inhale, you become more buoyant, and if you exhale, you kind of sink a little bit. So I like to float. It's one of my favorite ways to just clear and renew. And now find where your shoulder blades live on your back body and let the arm movements initiate from shoulder blades. So it's just a light, let the arm bones float with inhale and then recede with exhale, and then expand your capacity to hold the illumination as the arms go a little bit higher and a little bit lofty. And then when you're ready, we'll take the full inhale, arms up overhead, and right down the center line. Inner body bright, side bodies long is a component of our first principle in Anusara called open to grace. And on an emotional level, opening to grace is saying, you know what, no matter what just happened, no matter where I am, I can choose to take a deep breath in and open up to a new moment. And we'll pull that idea of a fresh start right into your heart. Feel your feet, strengthen your legs, and float the arms one more time up overhead. Keep the side bodies long as you take a swan dive forward. And however much you need to bend your knees to keep the side bodies long, go ahead, because our propensity here is to squeeze the shoulders down towards our hips. See if you can float them away from your hips. And just like you did seated, when you pull to a trini, it's called in the Ashtanga yoga practice and in other forms, styles of practice, where we come up flat back halfway and you lengthen from waistline to armpit. And then keep the length and let the shoulder blades come onto your back, your elbows bend for your forward fold. And we'll do that a couple more times. Side body's long, inner body bright. Keep the length and let the arm bones come into the shoulders. The shoulder blades help the heart recede. And now we're like waves coming in and open, one new wave after another. Hear the sound of Ujjayi breath and let the breath initiate before the movement.
Let the movement be a split second behind the fullness of your breath. And now we'll step back to a dog pose. After you set the foundation and feel your hands and feel your feet, we take a deep breath and push down through the hands and try to float the armpits away from the floor. Now we'll inhale down to the knees. The hands are fixed, the knees are fixed. Walk the knees slightly behind your hips, and that's the fastest way to create a side body is long. So they're slightly behind. Now squeezing the wrists, pull the side body. So we're not just pulling the heart forward, we're pulling from the waistline to the armpit like an accordion. Fix the hands, use your breath, and pull the accordion of the ribs forward, the heart forward. And try to keep that as you bring the arm bones into the shoulders, root your tail, and sink halfway down towards a modified chaturanga. Inhale, press up. Exhale, puppy pose. And push the hands down. Inhale, float the side bodies long. Heart forward. Squeeze the wrists together towards the midline and halfway down. And all the way down to cobra. Pressing the hands down, pull the rib cage up, the arm bones up. So ideally, they're level with the base of your neck for your cobra. And as we pull the top of the throat back and the lower ears back, root the tailbone. Inhale, press up all fours. Try to keep the side bodies long from waistline to armpit. And then you're really primed for downward dog. Tiptoe your feet to the head of your mat. Listen to the flow of your breath here. And when the sound of inhale initiates, lengthen the spine, the side bodies, the armpits forward, keeping the length, bow in and squeeze the shoulder blades. Now reverse swan dive, reach out, rise up. And hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. And when the side bodies stay long, the neck releases tension. So when you come down into your forward fold, think of that. Release your head and neck. It won't fall off. Pressing from hips to feet, side bodies long with inhale. Anchor the hands, step back, dog pose. Inhale to the knees. Continue that in-breath and pull the side bodies long, armpits forward. Bend the elbows and lower the chest halfway. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, puppy pose. And all the way up, all fours. Side bodies long. Heart forward, halfway, root the tailbone. Now push the hands down. So here we are in modified chaturanga. Hands down, lift the upper arm bones away from the floor. As you lengthen the tailbone and set the hips, pull the hands down and back so the rib cage can grow. Side bodies long, top of the throat back. Bowing forward. Keep the side bodies long as you lift up chaturanga and downward dog. 2 breaths. Enjoy. Walk your feet forward, standing forward fold. Place the feet, strengthen the legs. It's often helpful for people to take your hands wider than you think. And if your hamstrings are really tight, you'll need blocks because we want to be able to lengthen the side body and keep the curve of the lower back at the same time. With the hands nice and wide, you can bend your elbows. And when the elbows bend, the shoulder blades can bow the heart forward and release the head. Try that one more time. And if your hands naturally and easily come to the floor, try fingertips instead of flat palms. Last one. Now, hands to your hips. Feel your hands on your hips. Anchor the hips back and use the anchoring of the hips and the floating of your breath to create side bodies long. Lift your elbows to the sky. Press the back of your head towards the sky and come all the way up. Take a big long stance to your right. Turn the left foot to the front corner or edge of your mat and take a warrior two. Take your hands to your hips. All right, so for most people, this is like it's a power stance. If you're talking to somebody and they put their hands on their hips, it might be like, they're going to be very authoritative with you. So just make yourself soft here. Feel your feet, expand your breath sweetly. But use the hand placement as a way to anchor the hips down and then feel how the ribs can grow up. And then very softly, we squeeze the shoulder blades towards your spine. And that gives you the prompt so that you can move the arms from the back body out wide. Let's take your right hand to the outer upper thigh. I call this teapot arm. And so you'll press the hand down, elbow goes wide. When the elbow goes wide and the shoulder blade draws in, the collarbones can broaden as you lift up for reverse warrior. With inhale, lift up. Keeping the side bodies long, take that left elbow as far forward as you can towards your knee. As our tendency here is to collapse and shorten the left side. So go into that left side with your breath and expand the ribs right underneath the armpit, towards the armpit and towards your toes. Please turn the right palm out and up and lift that arm up. Keeping the palm facing the same direction as the crown of your head. And come back to the feet, the legs, stronger legs. Right thigh bone back, left buttocks under, and side bodies long, expanding from the waistline. Inhale, lift up, warrior two, teapot arm. Side angle, keep it long. Look to the earth, downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower to your belly. Come up onto spider arms. Pressing down through fingertips, bow into the heart. Feel your toes and your shoelace side of your feet, the inner thighs strong. Lengthen the tailbone. Now you push down through your hands and grow the rib cage out of the hips, up towards the heart, up towards your throat, and rise up. Modified cobra. And exhale, lower. Keeping the side bodies long, lift up again. And exhale, lower. And last wave, inhale your breath, your open heart, and all the way down. Now notice how far up the head of the arm bones are. They're pretty far up towards the base of your neck. Keep that as you place your hands like chaturanga. Press the hands down and float that underside of the armpit forward towards your earlobes even more. And then lift the belly up for modified chaturanga. Pit of the throat lifts. And keep pressing down, down, down. Lift the arms to straight. Tuck your toes. Pull the armpits forward and lift the knees. Plank pose. Pressing down from the heart through the hands, lift the hips up and back dog. Walk your feet forward. Hands to hips. Inhale, rise up. One other variation of bridge pose, the one where we clasp the hands behind our back. This is a moment where, as an Anusara yoga teacher, I always scan the room and I have to go to the first, it depends ever many people have done an action where they actually, in order to get the arms back and under and the shoulder blades under the heart, they shorten the side body and go like that. And then they've got strain in their neck and their shoulder. I can feel it. So I'll give you one chance to feel what that feels like. So hands behind you. Pull the shoulder blade back and down and back and down, and see if you've got some tension here, and how it also made your chin want to push forward. So don't ever do that. Okay, that was your one and only chance. Take your hands to your back pockets, fingertips like you were squeezing some Charmin. When the elbows go back and the hands are in this position, we're closer to that bridge pose posture, but we've kept the side bodies long. Now getting the arm bone underneath your chest is good. It can help us open the heart, but not if we shorten the side body and put strain where the trapezius muscle meets the shoulder. So can you draw the shoulder blade onto your back and lengthen the side body at the same time? Yeah. Now pull the top of your throat back, right behind your eyes. Press here like you were on the floor, and you'll find that bridge pose shape. Now there's a different kind of tension in the whole of the shoulder, in my body anyway. It's a stretch. It's not tugging at your neck channel is the most narrow, mobile part of your entire spine. And those lower cervical vertebrae are where most people, if they have neck issue, it starts to pull at the base of the neck. And then if we push the chin forward, then we displace the atlas and the occiput, and everything goes haywire. So how do we do that on the floor? So let's open the arms and take cactus. Inner body bright, side body's long. Head of the arm bones back. Top of the throat back. So now we're doing all the back bend neck. Inner body bright, side body's long. Head of the arm bone back. The third piece is shoulder loop. And that's where we press the upper palate back, and that goes all the way to the base of the shoulder blade. Now, if you extend one arm, doesn't matter, you're going to do both, and lean a little bit to the other side and keep that side body long as you pull the arm underneath your hips. Now you'll have to use the upper back side of that arm, lean a little into it, keep the side bodies long and pull the other side under. And then if it's possible, you'll interlace your hands. If it's not, you don't. From there, see if you can take the ulnar side of your wrist, that's the pinky side of your wrist, pull the palms together and cock the pinky side of the wrist so the elbows bend more. This is bridge pose arm. Palate back, ears back. From your pelvis now, push through the tailbone and the legs and open up the heart. Squeeze your shoulder blades, keep the side bodies long even as you release your arms. And we'll try it on our backs. And I'll try to cue you to the best of my ability. So I'll stay upright. And you come on, that way you'll have a better visual of me. So with your arms bent by your side like robot arms, and you're laying on your back, you can, or you want to do it seated, that's fine. I'm cueing bridge pose. While not in bridge pose. Take a deep breath and let that that deeper breath create an inner body bright. So follow the breath and pull the head and the arm bones and the underside of the armpits up towards your earlobes. Then press the back side of the upper arm, your posterior deltoid, and your tricep and your elbow into the mat. From there, extend the arms. They're not going to go straight down by your side. That's not ergonomically possible. Lean to your right and pull the whole left arm bone up and under the arm. Lift your hips a little bit. Sorry, I forgot that part. Lift your hips up. Lean to the left and pull the whole right arm under. There you go. Now clasp your hands, lift your hips. They're not already. And try to keep those side bodies long. There you go. Active feet. Now you can pull your heels in towards your fingers a little bit more. You can walk your feet back. From your palate now, push through the earth. Drag the heels down and back as you lengthen the spine from your heart to your belly to your knees. Beautiful. Keep the side bodies long and set your hips down. Release your palms and slide the hands out from underneath you, keeping those arm bones nice and lined up with the base of your neck. That should feel really good. Now, if you reach up and use one hand to palpate the muscles, the trapezius muscles at the base of your neck, I hope they feel soft and smushy. Technical term, smushy. And we'll do one more bridge. Active feet, bend the knees. Bend your elbows. Inner body bright, side bodies long. Pressing the upper arm bones back, draw the shoulder blades gently under your heart as you lift your hips. Extend your arms. Lean a little to the right and shrug the left arm bone up and pull it under. Lean into that. Left, right side body stays long. Interlace the hands and pull that right arm under your chest. Soften the hips a little bit. Deepen your breath. Inner body bright, just that 1/2 inch right underneath the armpit. Can you grow the head and the arm bone up towards your ears? Press the upper shoulders back and now lengthen from right behind your ears all the way through the heart, long through your tailbone to the backs of your knees. And the higher you want to lift in your bridge, the more you get to move the head and the arm bone into the back plane of the body. Lower the hips a little bit. Turn the palms up towards your booty as you release your hands. And as you lower the hips, keep the side bodies drawing long, and we'll bring the arms to a T. Lift your feet as you tone your core, and we'll twist to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Hold each knee. Here's another opportunity to not shorten your side bodies. Move from your shoulder blades as you reach for your knees. Now let the knees go as wide apart as you feel comfortable and rock yourself side to side. And really give yourself a moment to feel a new beginning here. Place your baby toes down on the sticky mat, the knees wide. Hands can rest on your hips. Stay with your Ujjayi breath. Extend one leg at a time to Shavasana. As you push through your heels down, lift your hips a little bit, lengthen your tailbone, set the hips down. Now with your inhale, shrug your shoulders toward your ears. Roll the shoulders gently a little bit under your heart, and then lift your head and set it down so that your eyes feel like they're looking at the heavens evenly from left and right. Let out a deep sigh. Let your Ujjayi pranayama go. And feel yourself move in behind your eyes, between your ears. From behind your eyes and between your ears down to the base of your skull, the pit of your throat. Down into the wellspring of the heart. And let a deep, deep, deep inhale fill you up here. Bathing in the Abhisheka, the pranic glow of your heart opening practice. You can now soften and release. And scan the rest of your body and tell your body this is the reset time. It's time to just go quiet for a moment. Allow for a warm, cozy blanket to settle down through your third eye. And a warm, cozy blanket to settle down over the throat and the heart. The base of your ribs and your belly. And let that cozy, heavy blanket come down over the hips and the legs. And as the body stays quiet, gently brush your thumb tips over your fingertips. And create a conscious, smooth, sweet, soft, deeper inhale. That emanates from the core of your being. And let that energy begin to grow from centered awareness. And find that little hint of a smile behind your eyes. And then slowly bend one knee at a time. Use your core strength to do that. So remember, you're anchored in the core. And as your feet rest, feel your back body really soften. Without moving the shoulder blades, bend your elbows. And then from the shoulder blades, sweep the arms just enough over your head so that you can roll to your right and use that right arm like a pillow. Move the left hand a little closer up towards your right armpit so that left side body can grow. Look down at the floor. Keep your hips nice and heavy. And softly, slowly lift up. And we'll just keep the eyes at about 80% closed as you take a final seat. And then find that inner body bright. Remember, your body is cylindrical. So the energy isn't just front or back or side or side. It's your whole beautiful self. And it just might feel more natural at the end of this practice than at the beginning to hold yourself in your own fresh luminosity. As we bring the hands to Anjali Mudra, the elbows can go wide, the fingertips gently face a little more forward than up. And we bow the mind to the heart and the heart to the body. And this practice of Anusara yoga really embodies healthy biomechanics, not just because we love to geek out on our anatomy, but because we like to open to the grace of being. And when we line ourselves up, the energy can flow more freely. And when the energy flows more freely, we have greater capacity to stay in a opened mind space, present for whatever's happening in the world. An open heart space, present for whatever's happening in the world. Yet duly and wholly grounded in our physical form, guided by our inner compass. We honor this day ahead with an Om that ends our practice and takes us into the new beginning of where we're going. Deep breath in, big breath out. Fill yourself up. And I hope you take this fresh start and let it move you into your heart's offering for the day. Thank you for being here. Namaste. So we'll continue the journey of backbend neck in the 3 remaining practices this month. And if you miss one, if you're, you can find them in the library. So these practices will build on the other practices that we get to take at a little faster pace. So enjoy. Thanks for being here.